hours a day, every day. GlobalNewsForum.com, a Future Vision entertainment station.
It's time now for the Bean Soup Times radio show with your host, Toure Muhammad. Heard every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on GlobalNewsForum.com. And now, your host.
Yes. What's up, brothers and sisters? Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Habarigani. Uhuru. Shalom. Praise the Lord. This is GlobalNewsForum.com, and I'm giving you a universal greetings. We always want to speak the language of people that we are talking to, and so I love to open up with that kind of salutation and let you know that we are giving you greetings. My name is Toure Muhammad, and this is the Bean Soup Times radio show here on GlobalNewsForum.com. We are so excited and happy about today. Again, like we always are, because first of all, we're on the top side. We are on the top side of the earth. As long as I can plant my feet down on the ground and stand up, I know I got a chance to have a great day. And it is my decision, just like it's yours, to have a good decision. We can't always determine what happens around us, but we can determine how we will respond to it. And the more we know about the power of our mind and the power of our ability to create our own environments, our own universes, we can actually control our environment. This is the challenge and task we have as human beings on this earth, brothers and sisters. There's so much that could be said about that. But definitely, when we look and we read different sacred scriptures, when we read ancient scriptures, when we read different books written by the ancients, the wise, they talk about the ability for us to be like our Father. And I'm talking, of course, about the universal, the supreme Father, and our ability to have dominion, to be little gods. So we'll talk about that at another time. I just want to really just thank everyone who's been listening to the Bean Soup Time show. Thank you all for your support. And, you know, it has definitely been this past couple of days a time of reflection, a time, you know, since we are closing out the year. And although I do not aspire to the idea that we have to wait for the new year to have new resolutions, we should have new resolutions every day and have different ones, not the same one over and over and over again, like it's a scratch on a Luther song. On a Luther Vandross song, over and over and over and over. No, we need to make new resolutions, complete the ones that we made that month, that day, that year, or whatever it is, and continue to strive to be better. The effort and the decision and the thrust to be great, to be all that you can be, should not be left to just our youth in terms of age, the children, the teenagers. I love the spirit that they have to continue to fight, to persevere, to get up no matter what the challenges are with life. But unfortunately, sometimes we get so many disappointments, we stop fighting, we stop trying to be great. But brothers and sisters, I'm encouraging you to do just that, to be the champion that you are. And so we're going to have a little twist on the show today. We don't have an in-studio guest as of yet, but we may have one real soon. But as we kick off this beginning half of the show, and it is 3:09 here, Central Time, here in the city of Chicago. And I don't know what the weather is where you're listening, but it's a nice cloudy day. The sun is not out, but it's still, you can see. But I say it's a nice cloudy day because, of course, like the great Frederick Douglass said, a man that wants crops without rain, man who wants, what did he say? Oh, man, I'm getting ready to mess it up. He said something to the effect of a man or a woman who wants justice without struggle is like a person who wants crops without rain. Without the thunderstorm. So you have to have one to get the other. And of course, the changes of weather that we're having today in this year. Today is the winter solstice. Some very interesting and incredible, just intriguing history behind the winter solstice. So today will mark the time when the days get shorter and shorter and shorter. And then, of course, what you have is the ushering in of winter. But it's by no accident. It's by no coincidence that it's so closely connected and related to December 25th. And there's a lot of connections there, brothers and sisters. I don't want to offend anybody, but when you look at history, you're always about to get offended when somebody says, I don't want to offend you, but when somebody says, with all due respect, I hear something new going on nowadays, too. I don't want to invalidate you, but no, but seriously, there's some historical facts that you just can't get around. And there was a time in Europe during the time of Constantine, who was a ruler in Europe, who really wanted to get the people to honor and observe and learn about this great man, this great phenomenal man, this Messiah, Jesus the Christ. And so as he thought about ways to really encourage the people to look towards Christ, at that time they were not looking at all towards Christ or righteousness or religion, but they were caught up in a lot of paganistic rules and rituals, and I won't say rules, but observances that centered around the changing of the seasons. So there were some discussions about how to, since the days were pretty similar anyway, to blend in some of the paganistic rituals with the observance of Jesus the Christ. So we won't get into it, but there's a reason for the Yule log and the mistletoe and the evergreen tree, and and decking it with silver and gold and all of that stuff. That has nothing to do with the observance of Christ. So I did say with all due respect, but if that offends you, I almost got into one of my Robin Harris attitudes. Robin Harris say, if anything I said offends you, F you. No, we don't want to have that kind of spirit though. But we do want to teach. We want to give some information that will be something that you can look up, you can research. Today with the internet, the wonderful thing that Steve Jobs did, and what's the other one? Bill Gates did with bringing the world closer together and creating that information superhighway, is that you can just go and Google it. It's not as hidden. The information is not as ancient and dusty as it used to be. It's right there at your fingertips today. So look up Constantine, and matter of fact, you can go into the Bible, into the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's chapter 10, and read something that will be very interesting, I think, to you. So anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. We want to get into some things. One, what is on the Bean Soup Times website. I want to make sure you all are taking some opportunities to see some of the information that we share. Our goal, our desire, our purpose is to share news and information about products, services, events, causes that relate to black consumers, to black people. And so you'll see a lot of information on there that aims to do just that. So we do have on the front page of Bean Soup Times today something that I was thinking about yesterday real hard because there's a video where Kanye West, it was either before or after their concert. Well, it had to be before their concert here in Chicago, the tour that Jay-Z and Kanye West, two very popular hip hop artists. Kanye is from Chicago and Jay-Z is from New York. And so they were here and did a little tour. And the tour focused on a lyric in their song that they do together about making a right turn on South Shore Drive. And so, again, we've told you we're here at the studios at Global News Forum, right here on 73rd and South Shore Drive. And I grew up spending many a days on the corner of 79th and South Shore. It was a place that was not necessarily a popular tourist destination. It was not a place that people who came from other cities would frequent, but it was a place that me and the young brothers and sisters that I grew up with, we called our little corner of the earth of Chicago. And it was, we had the beautiful lakefront right there. Of course, South Shore is right there by Rainbow Beach. It's right there to the right of it. And I spent many a days and nights out there around that area, which was really a forgotten gem and jewel. And so it was just nice to have that attention that Kanye brought to 79th and South Shore as he brought Jay-Z to the area on the south side of Chicago where he grew up. And I posted a picture of me and my brother from another mother who's no longer with us, Huey Rich. We grew up like brothers. People say we favored, and people every time we met somebody new, they would ask us, "Are we brothers?" So we just started saying yes, and so a lot of people thought that we were blood brothers, and so it's just beautiful. So watch the videos there. Anybody who's in their 30s and 40s and maybe even your early 20s, there will probably be some nostalgia there as you watch that video, and just the recognition of on a worldwide, on an international stage, a corner where I grew up and spent a lot of my time being mentioned. It's a beautiful thing. So that's what's up, brothers and sisters. So check out that video, that post in there. And then we have some other things on there that I think are very, very interesting. There's a post about the Help author who there's a lady, there's a servant, a maid who worked for her, who say that the lady took her story, helped herself to her Help's story. And has made a lot of money off of it. But according to how the lady is responding, she's not getting a dime from her story being used and made into a movie. So check that out. That's definitely interesting. And also I have something there, a comment, a response from our brother and friend Fred Hampton Jr., who responds to his father's name being mentioned in Jay-Z's in one of Jay-Z's songs in this new CD that him and Kanye have out together. So it's interesting there. More stuff is on there, so we may have a chance to get to it. But definitely, brothers and sisters, check out beansouptimes.com. Make sure you're on our email list so you can get the updates about products and services. And we have something new. We have some new ads that we're posting up on the top of the website that are links to email blasts that we send out. So we're going to start a service where anybody who sends out an email blast using our services, we're also going to post that online as well. So it's so much great stuff happening. Bean Soup Times, we have a lot of free opportunities for you to get the message out through the website, through our emails, through Bean Soup Times, Bean Soup Society.com, a social media site, and also here on our radio show. We're going to have a nice package and promo that will include me mentioning your business on Bean Soup Times radio show. So look out for some nice promos that we're going to be doing. And of course, send me your news releases. Send those to media@beansouptimes.com. And if you have an incredible story, if you have some news that we can share with our audience, then we can discuss that as well. So it is now 3:20, brothers and sisters, and we're going to take a moment to introduce to you a wonderful young lady. I have worked with her. She's been a client of mine, and I have in some ways been a client of hers. We've worked to get stories out into the news. She's brought me celebrities to interview, she's going to start doing a entertainment segment for us, and I wanted to do something that was different from what you normally hear, which is just the who is not messing around with who is mad at who, and who's wearing what and all that. I understand there's a place for that. It's just not on the Bean Soup Times radio show. But I wanted to highlight celebrities that are doing positive things, who are doing things that, reflect their passion to not only share their talent with the world, but to help change the world. So philanthropy, is that the way you say that word? Things that people are doing that reflect their heart to give back, to help uplift, and to do things that will inspire and motivate others by donating their time and their money. And many of them may not even do it in the public eye, so there are things you don't hear about. And so that's why I'm always careful and cautious, and don't get into the game of talking about what celebrities are or are not doing, because the reality is unless you are tied to the hip to them, unless you've been following their life in detail, you never know what they are doing to help people that they do not for the media coverage and the lights and the camera. So, but anyway, we want to introduce to you wonderful sister Lisa, connecting you to George and our new entertainment report.
Hi, this is Lisa, connecting you George with the Bean Soup Times Celebrity Philanthropy Update. Celebrity philanthropy is something that I really love to see in action. True philanthropy is more than just photo ops, doing good to look good, or fix a bad public image or recent negative act. There are so many individuals and communities that are affected by socioeconomic problems, chronic illnesses, and much more. So as a public health advocate, philanthropist, and try to do gooder myself, I applaud high-profile individuals who use their name, status, and sometimes money to affect positive changes in the world. With me, express the desire to use his platform and the skill set that he has been blessed with to make a positive difference in the world. Through his foundation, Manifest Your Destiny, the mission, provide underserved youth a path to empowerment and educational excellence through academic, programming, college access skills, and personal development lives. Mr. Harper takes out time from his extremely busy schedule to go on HBCU college tours, speak at summer enrichment academies, and challenging youth living in impoverished neighborhoods to stretch themselves and make their dreams come alive. He is currently working on expanding the foundation nationally and creating more Destiny Academies. How does he find the time with all that he does? Well, I guess he has made it a priority to give back to those less fortunate. He said the following to me during our interview. Out of the 15 billion years that this world has been here, and the 100, if I am lucky, that I'm here, and of the 7 billion people that are on this earth, that I was one of those billion, and in 100 of the years of the 15 billion years, that I made a positive impact on this world. Knowing that education can be a transformational tool, his foundation seeks to actively engage underserved populations in the enhancement of their future. Now, if that is not celebrity philanthropy in action, I don't know what is. Some celebrities do philanthropic work through their artistic platform: music, movies, theater, books, poetry, but I'll talk about that some other time. Other celebrities doing great ongoing philanthropic work include Alicia Keys through her Keep a Child Alive Foundation, which provides first-class AIDS care, treatment, surrounding support, and food for children and families affected by HIV/AIDS in Africa and India. And then there is Malak Rock, wife of Chris Rock, who is the founder and executive director of StyleWorks, a nonprofit full-service salon that provides free services for women leaving welfare and entering the workforce. There are so many more, but we will leave that for next time. This is Lisa, connecting you, George, reporting for Bean Soup Times.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's our sister Lisa George with the entertainment report. So, brothers and sisters, that is going to be a weekly segment where we bring to you news about celebrities doing some good in the hood. So don't miss that. It'll be a source of inspiration and information, and also as a public service announcement. That is a segment that a business owner you can sponsor. That segment. You can sponsor that segment and have your name, your business name, mentioned in connection with this segment and all of the great and good that the celebrities are doing. Of course, there's a great chance and a possibility that they will hear the segment, and it just gives you a nice boost, a nice feature that you can have added to your marketing and PR strategy. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back. It is 3:26 roughly, 3:27, and we'll be right back with more on the Bean Soup Times radio show. Peace.
When you want to be informed about the issues in your community and the world at large, log on to globalnewsforum.com. When you're in the mood for all of today's R&B, old school, and steppin', log on to our sister station, clubsteppin.com, your number one 24-hour internet radio station for steppers. Log on today and get your step on.
Cuando me da un ataque de asma, siento miedo.
Prevenga el próximo ataque de asma de su niño. Llame al 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. En el internet visite www.noattacks.org o consulte a su médico, porque inclusive solo un ataque es demasiado.
Me siento como un pez en agua.
Traído a usted por el EPA y el Ad Council.
In the beloved fairy tale classic, Beauty and the Beast, Belle is imprisoned in the castle of a mysterious beast. But with the assistance of the castle's enchanted staff, the two become unlikely friends, discover that true beauty is found within, and they live happily ever after.
Today, our happily ever afters are being threatened by the fact that nearly 1 in 3 children in America are overweight or obese. Now more than ever, it's time to make good nutrition and physical activity part of your family's daily lifestyle. Do things like eat dinner together, add fruits and veggies to every meal, save treats for special occasions, and get up and play an hour each day. Be our guest to healthy living and visit letsmove.gov to learn more. That's letsmove.gov. This message has been brought to you by Let's Move, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to globalnewsforum.com.
It's Bean Soup Times radio show with Toure Muhammad on globalnewsforum.com.
And we're back. Peace, brothers and sisters. This is your brother, your friend, Toure Muhammad. It is 3:29. We're at the bottom half of the hour, and you're listening to Bean Soup Times radio show on globalnewsforum.com here in Chicago on a nice, gloomy day where, again, we are happy to be on the top side of the earth. So I want to talk a little bit this half of the hour on a couple things. One, first, I was giving you a little overview. I really want to make sure that people understand and really feel what we're doing, what we are working hard to create here at Bean Soup Times. And I started Bean Soup Times in March of 2001 with a very simple idea. And it was the same idea that the black press, black media, was established upon by John Washworm and Samuel Cornish back in, 1827? They said that for too long others have spoken for us. And for too long others have told our story. And so I knew that in this modern age, and of course, when I started Bean Soup Times, that was really like the olden days. Email was just really becoming popular. I was doing marketing and PR and doing a lot of media outreach, and there were a lot of reporters that were not happy about email, and they would, tell me, listen, please send me a fax. Don't send it to my email, and don't send an attachment. And, it was a new thing. And so it was not just widely used by everyone. It had to grow on people. And so, of course, now you have people who do marketing and PR, media outreach specifically, that don't need and don't have a fax machine like yours truly. I have, and there are outlets that still will accept faxes, and they are still useful, and you can still send them, but it's not just absolutely necessary like it used to be. So just a little PR, little media outreach tip for you. But you really have to make sure that you reach out to an outlet directly, reach out to a reporter directly, and ask them what is the best way to reach out to them, what is their preferred way, and then you make your amends to do it as they like it, as they ask. So it all depends on your media market, who the reporters are that you're dealing with, the ones that are most important to reach your target audience, and so you make those decisions about how you deliver it to them on the back end by responding to their preference. It's very important in building good media relations. So, but I digress. I may get into a little bit of that a little bit later, but I really wanted to highlight what we're doing here at Bean Soup Times and what our purpose is. And so I started off, like I said, sending an email out to 50 people because as I was doing media outreach for a nonprofit organization, as I was working full time doing that, but then had people in the community who had issues and who had concerns and who had projects that they needed to get some press around, to get some attention for, but they didn't have the tools and the resources and the money to pay for a PR agency, or to pay for someone who could come in and that they could hire to do it for them. So I didn't want to simply rely on mainstream media to report their news for them. And really, I didn't want to rely on just ethnic or black media because I understood, how the game is, how the journalism and the media game is. I was a journalist for 6 years at the Final Call newspaper, and I covered Chicago basically. And different cities and different issues. I would at times travel with Minister Farrakhan and the whole delegation, the whole group of us, support group, as the minister went into cities And so I knew that me being only one person, I could not tell everybody's story that was relevant and whose story needed to be told. Just one person couldn't tell. I couldn't write enough. There was not enough ink to write on the paper. There was not enough paper to tell everybody's story here in the city of Chicago and beyond. And we had other reporters, of course, in other cities, but there's so many stories, and it's just hard and pretty much impossible to tell everybody's. So when you had even people like me who wanted to tell everybody's story but couldn't, and then you have other outlets who didn't want to tell everybody's story, who didn't think everybody's story was relevant, then that decreases the amount of people that you can get into the media. So I decided to start reaching out to people directly via email and sharing stories, news, and information about people that I thought were relevant, but we couldn't get them in mainstream media. So that was the birth of Bean Soup Time. So I started reaching out to people directly, reaching out to consumers, to stakeholders, to community people directly to get the message out to them. And it's just a wonderful and interesting thing to look up in 10 years later to see how on top of things and how cutting edge that idea was. Not necessarily the idea itself, because like I said, John Washroom and Samuel B. Cornish said a long time ago, 1827, I believe. And if anybody's out there who is a history buff who or is right there, can Google it real quick and text me to let me know if that is the actual facts. I'm going off of the top of my head on that history. But I believe, like I said, it was 1827, but I know the spirit of it was to create news that people I could reach out to people directly with. So, with that being said, we grew from 50 people. The email list grew and grew and grew to now it's around 16,000. 20,000 people who are on our email and our social media connections. And it's when you listen to marketers today who are on the front lines, I would say, of social media and internet marketing, they say the name of the game is to be able to reach buyers directly. So it's just another way of saying what everybody's been saying, what our powerful black press has been saying. Everyone needs to tell their own story and tell it to the people that they want to reach directly. That is such an important key to success. And so, brothers and sisters, with Bean Soup Times, and you know what, let me just explain why that's so important. Again, using modern technology to highlight a very principled and very sturdy idea, and that is to be able to communicate to the people that you want to communicate to directly, without any go-between, without any filters, without anyone else saying what's important to your group that you want to communicate to, and deciding that you can reach them. And so back in the day, then the founders of the black press, from the brothers I just mentioned, to Frederick Douglass, to Ida B. Wells, to Marcus Garvey, to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to many other, just, you know, you got the New York Amsterdam News, you had the Pittsburgh Courier, of course you have John Abbott, Robert Abbott, and John Singstack, with the Chicago Defender. You had there's so many, the Chicago Crusader. You had so many publications out there, the Los Angeles Sentinel, who had to use the means at their disposal at the time. And so that meant that they had to put together some resources. Many of them start off real small, as a pamphlet, as a flyer, even. Imagine that. Some of the great publications that helped change the course of history in the city of Chicago and throughout the United States. We've talked a little bit about the Chicago Defender before. It started off, I think it was maybe a 2-page flyer, a leaflet, basically, and grew from there. So if you are in business right now and you're thinking about being in business, don't get caught up on where you are. Just make sure that you have a plan to grow and have your vision clear and intact, and don't let anybody divert you from your goal, from your vision. You can bring your vision into a reality and know that the businesses you see today that you think are the giants in your industry that you are competing against, know that they did not start there. Know that they started off small, just like you're starting off, but know that with persistence and commitment and vision that you'll make and reach your goal. And years from now, people will be saying, wow, you're so great, you're so large, you're so big, and they'll think you always were that way when you weren't. Dunkin' Donuts started off as a push cart in Boston many years ago, selling coffee and donuts to people coming out of office buildings in downtown Boston. So I believe it was downtown Boston. It was Boston for sure. So, anyway, so I just wanted to make that point. So these publications, these black press, they had to have the resources to, some had to get a printing press. Many had to, of course, buy the paper and keep the printing press supplied with ink so that they could produce the publication. And I know when I was publishing Bean Soup Times in print format for about 6 years, for me to do 10,000 to 20,000, we did often 10,000. We had gotten up to 20,000 copies in circulation, and that would cost a couple thousand, $3,000 to print, to produce. And of course that was a lot of money to some. It was definitely a lot of money to me. And this is what our press have to do now, and did have to do, was continue to bring in the advertising dollars and the subscriptions to make sure they had money to print. Well, today, you don't have to have a huge budget to get your message out. Today, you can use social media. You can use email. You can use a website and potentially reach hundreds and thousands and millions of people online. You just have to have a message that resonates. You have to have a product or a service that is needed. You have to be solving a problem, but be rest assured that with some time and some energy focused on creating a plan, there are a lot of people that you can reach for very little of what it costs, a fraction of the cost of what it took. The internet is the great equalizer. What has been done with the internet is absolutely phenomenal. There are people who have come out of obscurity because of an interesting, a humorous, or an engaging YouTube video. There are people who came out of obscurity because of pictures and comments and status updates on MySpace and on Facebook. So it's absolutely an incredible place for you to do a lot of market study, to do a lot of focus groups, to do a lot of advertising and reaching out and communicating. Really, social media, you might as well take the social off of it and call it what it is. It's media. It's media, just like radio and TV today. Media, we're online right now, online radio, and you're listening to us. You're in the comfort of your home or your workplace, and you can listen to us and me just with such ease and simplicity. And I know it's just a wonderful thing to listen to this smooth voice and this quirky laugh that I have, that people are telling me I need to get put on the ringtone and sell it. But it's a lot happening. And just to give you an idea, I'm gonna read to you some quotes from or some excerpts from my ebook, 7 Steps to Waging a Successful Marketing and PR Campaign, to give you an idea of just how impactful, powerful, and how much social media is here to stay. Now, here's one thing that just blew me away, because as someone who studies trends and understands what's going on online and what people are doing, since the internet started, brothers and sisters, there was one activity that always overshadowed everything else that was done online, and that was people looking at nude and lewd stuff online. Pictures and videos, porn, had been the number one activity done online since the internet became popular, since it started. But social media has overtaken. In the past couple of years, social media has overtaken porn as the number one activity on the web. And it took radio 38 years to reach 50 million users. It took television 13 years to reach 50 million users. And it took the internet 4 years to reach 50 million users. And it took the iPod only 3 years to reach 50 million users. And this is the kicker right here. It took Facebook less than 9 months to add 100 million users. Oh man, the game has changed, and the game has changed in the favor of small businesses. The game has changed into the favor of the little man that does not have the huge money to buy expensive ads on TV, and who does not have the huge PR budget where he can hire or she can hire a PR firm for $2,000 to $5,000 a month to help them get the message out. Those days are over. If you can just harness the power of the internet, brothers and sisters, you can change the game and you can win big in your business. And I encourage you to do just that. So you can get more information about my book, of course, B Media, 7 Steps to Waging a Successful Marketing and PR Campaign. And I'm going to be it's incredible right now. It's only $7, but we're going to be doing a few things in the upcoming year to put some more information in there, because this stuff is changing not just by the minute, but by the second. There's always some new things out there that you have to consider and look at how you can use it and incorporate it into what you're doing. What we do with our, and you know, I'm gonna claim it because I don't hear other people in the industry saying it. I call what we do in terms of sending out our your communication to our database social media e-blast. E-blast is a popular term that people use, but I had to really alter that term because we were doing more than just sending out an email. We were, of course, you send out the email to your whole email subscriber database if you have an email distribution list, which I encourage you to do if you are in business. But we were doing more than that. With the introduction of social media, we have some 8,000 people on Facebook, 2,000 people on Twitter. And so every time we send out an email, we would share it, and we do share it with our social media friends and followers and fans. So it's more than just an e-blast. It's a social media e-blast. And then for select clients, we also will send out a text message to our text message database to let folks know about what's happening. And oh man, we did some wonderful stuff with some of our clients. I'll never forget, I sent out a text message about a buy one get one free turkey burger from Quench Restaurants. and the text message went out, and in less than 2 minutes, I got responses from people who were in the area of a quench and decided, because they got the text message, to go in and take advantage of that buy one get one free turkey burger. So that's a lesson right there, an example of what we call real-time media, where you can promote in real time and catch people where they are and alter for the good their spending habits or their spending choice at that moment. And so, of course, your mobile phone, your PDA, your cell phone is the perfect place to do that. People get news now in real time. Stuff is happening across the country, and we're hearing about it and watching it on Twitter, on Facebook in real time as it's happening. You stream, people streaming video as it's happening. So it's just a lot of wonderful things happening out there with social media, with the internet, and all of us can take advantage of it. If you are thinking about going into business and you're worried about how you're going to get the message out, oh, don't worry. The times have changed, and the game has been changed into your favor. So with beansouptimes.com, we incorporate a lot of these principles and strategies. You can see lots of video, both video that we produce and video that we post from other people. We have a interview with Common, where he did a quick interview, and so you can see that on beansoupsociety.com. You can post your own videos on beansoupsociety.com, things that interest you or something that you created, a commercial about your business. So, but what we do is use a lot of video, because video is important in this day and age. It's the next best thing to being there, because, of course, if you have studied anything about marketing and public relations, especially that marketing aspect of why people buy from people that they know, like, and trust when they have a choice. And so the best way to get somebody to know, like you, and trust you is to look them in the eye, shake their hand, let them feel your spirit and your passion and your commitment for what you're doing. And of course, that's not always possible. You want to do it as much as possible, but when you can't shake someone's hand, then the next best thing is video, because they can see you. At least they can see you in action. They can hear you, and they get a sense of who you are through that video. So it's a wonderful tool to use. And so we use a lot of video on the site, beansouptimes.com. We also, like I was mentioning earlier, we're now posting emails that we send out on the site through text links, both on the top and on the side. So now someone who sends out an email and we send it to our email database and we share it on social media, now the hundreds of people, the thousands of people some days that come to our website can now see a link and a promo for your ad that was sent out via email on the website. And so that's just a wonderful. We're going to be promoting that and talking a lot more about that. So it creates more opportunities for your message to be seen in this viral global environment. People can go to the website, see your ad, open it up, and then they can share it. Oh, man, listen to that. They can share it on their social media sites, whatever they're on, Facebook, Twitter, whatever they're on. There'll be an option where they can share it on their social media as well. So this creates this social media / viral email blast that would just create lots of opportunity for you to be seen. And as we grow, then the more eyes will be on your message. And now, with the radio show, with the Bean Soup Times radio show here on globalnewsforum.com. And brothers and sisters, as we close out, it is 3:54. We have about 6 minutes on the show, and you are listening to Toure Muhammad on the Bean Soup Times radio show here on globalnewsforum.com. And we're going to have just some wonderful opportunities. We're getting a lot of feedback from people who are listening to the show. We thank you for the feedback and for listening. And we want you to share this information. Tell your friends and family to tune in to the Bean Soup Times radio show. And what we'll be doing is we're going to have this package deal. Man, I'm talking about for the low, excuse me, for a low price. I got choked up there as I, thought about how low this price is. But we'll be able to we'll take your information, send out an email to our email database of 16,000. Then we'll share it on our social media sites, Facebook and Twitter, and let people know about what you're doing through those mediums. Then we'll put it on our website where people can see it on our website who come from all over the world, and of course many right here in Chicago, as here is where our base is. But then we'll also mention you on the show. Like for example, we sent out an email today about Teresa Griffin, that soulful songstress with My Naked Soul Production. She's doing a New Year's Eve celebration. And you can go to beansouptimes.com, click the link at the top of the site that has New Year's Eve event with Teresa Griffin, and get more information about her event. Of course, it's going to be on New Year's Eve. It's going to be, I believe, in the South Loop area. So now Teresa Griffin has an email sent out. She has her information shared on social media, and we're mentioning her on our weekly show. So, brothers and sisters, there's just this Bean Soup Times media marketing matrix, if you will, where people, and of course we have some very wonderful and loyal people who get our emails, who comment on social media, and who listen to us on the show. Then they'll get that added reinforcement of the message, because marketing experts say that today, with so many media messages, with so many stimuli coming to us, to our brain, in the 80s we had about 1,000 media messages coming to us per day. In the 2000s, that number jumped up to about 10,000 media messages per day. And that was before the cell phones became a popular place to advertise with all the apps. That was before the billboards that you see on the streetways, on the byways, expressways, promoting stuff in digital, real time. Oh man, it's just so many. So it's way more today. We don't even recognize so many of them that come to us. But media experts say that you need to get your message out to your target audience and hit them 9 times at least for them to get the message once. 9 times, and hopefully they'll get the message and be able, because they got to be able to hear it, understand, decide if they want it, and respond. So just one time is not always. Sometimes it can work, but many times with so much our attention span, there's so many things coming at us that we need to have a message reinforced for us to get it and act on it. So Bean Soup Times, we tell you, we've mentioned and we've told people that our desire is to create opportunities for you to share your message about your product, your service, your cause, or event. And so this is just a part of it. So we're going to have a nice package for a low price that you'll be able to get the message out. And we also have a sale going on now. So go to the email. If you're on an email list, open up the email where we have a nice discount, $25 off of our social media e-blast from now to the end of the year. If you're not on our email list, then text me and I'll put you on there and make sure you get that message at 773-531-8798. That's 773-531-8798. Text me and I'll make sure you get that. And then also, I didn't mention as we close out the show, we're going to really ramp up our news release distribution service, where you send us your news release and we'll send it out to all our audience, of course, and we catering and focus on black consumers. So we're going to send your news release to black reporters and black media outlets in Chicago. So whether it's the Chicago Crusader, the Final Call newspaper, whether it's the Chicago Defender, whether it's the Chicago Citizen, the Windy City Word, we'll send it to all of the black publications, and we'll make sure that your black reporters, your Marion Brooks, your Jose Sanders, your Val Warner, just all of the black reporters will get your message as well, because it may be something that they'll see the human interest in it and report on your story. So we're going to send it out to them, and if it's an event, then we'll make sure we send it to the arts and entertainment section of all the mainstream publications as well. If it is something dealing with health or education or the environment, then we'll send it to all those targeted media outlets in the city of Chicago as well. Oh, it's going to be an incredible service. Like I said, brothers and sisters, our desire, our goal is to help you get the message out. So we're going to close out the show. We really appreciate everyone who's been listening. Tell your friends, your family to tune in to Bean Soup Times radio show every Wednesday at 3 o'clock here on globalnewsforum.com. And we appreciate, again, all those who have been listening. And never forget, brothers and sisters, that as long as I have a bowl of bean soup, you've got half. Peace.
You're listening to globalnewsforum.com.